And we welcome you guys inside our broadcast booth. I'm Christian Boussier, joined alongside TJ French for game 2 of this series. I mean, look, it was a great game last night. Unbelievable pitching matchup there. But you guys just struggled leaving people on base. Tell me, what do you guys have to do differently tonight in order to succeed and finally get some points on the board there?
Well, really, yeah, you make a great point. I think the starting pitching has been great for the Diamond Dogs. It's just been, it seems like every inning they're threatening with whether it's guys on second and third, one out, guys on first and second with nobody out. And we've even seen them play a little small ball. Coach Jim Newland will, doesn't hesitate to throw a bunt down or call a bunt signal. And they also don't hesitate to steal. They're pretty aggressive, but strikeouts are really starting to hurt them. They have 40 strikeouts through their first 4 games. And the pitcher last night, Rylan Bosenhart, he definitely had his way with this lineup, 10 strikeouts through 5 innings. So.
Yeah, well, TJ, speaking of pitching, Brady Wright has not made his actual full start in this league yet. He's only got a couple innings under his belt, not even any strikeouts. He let off a double his first appearance here. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Dogs can really capitalize on this fresh pitcher. You know, he has no experience in this league, first year, so it's going to be very interesting. And so with the national anthem, players will start to take the field. TJ, your team's hitting 160 total across the board. You know, that's not the best batting average. But like you said, they're playing a lot of small ball. I'm interested to see how the speed is really going to help them out here tonight.
Yeah, 22 walks on the season, so they're working good at bats. That's one thing I can tip my cap to my team, I guess I should say. They're working good counts, and they're finding their ways on base. It's just the hits are not coming. So, and when there's lack of hits, there's usually a lack of runs. So, scored 3, 3, and 2 runs in their last 3 games. So, again, just really, I would say, try and get off to a fast start. However, yesterday they did score first in the first inning, but they were unable to score for another 5 innings. I believe scored in the 6th, and then that would be it for them. And another thing has just been, you know, they'll see great outings out of some of their starters, even some of their bullpen guys. But sometimes it's just all it takes is one guy, and you know, if you come in the 8th or 9th inning and give up a handful of runs, that can sometimes be the deciding factor in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take a look at this River Rats starting lineup, out there you got King in center field, Puckett starting at third with Harmon and Khalees Lopez Mock rounding out the top half of the defense. Then Schaefer coming in the extra hitter. Saliba will be the backstop tonight, and Santana will hang out in left field. And so pretty much the same lineup we've seen all season long so far by the River Rats. They've been pretty brick and mortar here, it seems like. They're holding strong. They have this sort of base lineup that they want to build off of, and they got their guys that they know are going to work for them right off the bat.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of the opposite for the Diamond Dogs. They're kind of sporting a little bit of a different lineup here tonight. I see a couple of new fresh faces that have not even seen any game action this year, so interesting to see how those guys do. And yeah, I think when you start the season on a 4-game losing streak, I don't want to say wholesale changes are needed to be made, but you certainly want to make little adjustments to the lineup, to the field, just to kind of have a feel for, you know, where your team is at. And, you know, over the first series, Coach Newland had a really set plan in place for the pitchers, but I'm also curious to see as we're into the 5th game now, kind of to see which guys he is kind of leaning on and which guys he maybe veers away from.
Yeah, TJ, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, this is a team that's still young. You know, all these guys come together. They really don't build that chemistry. They only have one practice together. So if you don't get going right off the bat, it's really hard to gain your momentum, and I think we're seeing a lot of momentum coming out of Winter Park. I think it's just going to take maybe this game, maybe the next game, and they're slowly building that rapidly.
I think wood bats also have a big deal to do with it. It is a wood bat league. I'm not totally sure like what these guys' experience levels are with wood bats, but driving the baseball has also kind of been an issue. It feels like they're making good contact, or it looks like it'll be headed for the gap, but with that wood bat, it really suppresses sometimes the exit velo of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, solid contact is so important with these wood bats because they're not as forgiving as the metal bats that they play, you know, in the NCAA, JUCO, whatever league they may play in, they're using metal bats. So that's an adjustment as well, you know. And so Brady Wright looking to make his first start this season as Saliba throws it down, and we are just set to get underway. Rivero will lead things off for the Diamond Dawgs.
He has been one of their more productive hitters. The Diamond Dawgs don't have anyone batting above 300. Connor Foss now is at the 300, but Rivero, 3 runs scored in the first 4 games and has 4 hits. So
Brady Wright looking to get the set underway, and we are glad to have you with us as that's taken for a ball outside, and we are underway here in Sanford for what seems like, you know, a really long wait. You know, you get rained out on the first game. They played the makeup game on Sunday, but they haven't really had a home start to really remember here. It's Brady Wright pitches another one taken outside, 2-0.
Yeah, I'm certainly glad to be here. This is a beautiful park, and I mean, we got a couple of chances to come up here before the season, but yeah, definitely glad to be here.
Absolutely. So Rivero with the 2-0 count. Like you said, Rivero isn't hitting over 300. He's only hitting 286, but, you know, with 4 games played and 14 at-bats, he's got 4 hits, which isn't too bad of a number. Even with how his team's performing around him, he himself is hitting pretty well. Taking first strike.
5 stolen bases as well. So like I was saying, just the aggressiveness of this Winter Park team. They are trying to take the extra base whenever they can. And Rivera's a rising junior out of St. Leo. A lot of St. Leo Lion players here for the Winter Park.
So it's a leadoff walk for Rivero, and like you said, the speed may actually become a factor in this game. You know, the River Rats walk a lot of guys right off the bat. You're going to see them really getting these high batter-friendly counts, you know, the 2-0s, the 3-1s, the 3-2s. And I think that's where the Rats really start to struggle, is coming out with those hitter-friendly counts because they just can't seem to turn it around for them.
Yeah, and they really played in kind of the opposite type of series in their first series as opposed to the Winter Park Diamond Dawgs. I know there was a lot of fireworks, I should say, in that first series for Sanford. It was Leesburg, correct?
I believe so, yeah. Leesburg Lightning, who, you know, we had a pretty hard-fought series with them, too, as he threw down to first, and he was in there safe. So Rivero will lead off, and Marcewicz settles in. 231 this year as Wright kicks and deals. Just misses the zone for a ball. Brady Wright looking to pitch around the zone. You know, this early in the game, you don't really know where the umpire's looking, what he's got set up as the boundaries. So these first early at-bats are just kind of setting the tone as Wright gets one in there for a strike.
Yeah, Marcewicz from Florida Southern, Penn Florida Southern.
Next offering. Swung on and fouled back and out of play.
Marcewicz did play in 14 games in 2025 for Florida Southern. Recorded 3 hits and 10 at-bats, so small sample size, but also 3 RBIs. So I think this is a really good opportunity for him to get a lot of reps in this Florida League, which is so vital for a number of different reasons, but also for player development and, you know, just seeing pitches using a wood bat, getting a lot of live game reps.
Again, the throw over. He just threw over twice and did not get him. And, yeah, you're right. You know, it's all about adjustments, and it's also all about practice. These guys don't want to sit and kind of go stagnant over the summer. So it's very important for them to come down here and really focus on their mechanics as he swings through that one and strikes him out. So Wright records his first K of the game and his first K of the season. And what seems to be a promising outing for him so far. He's got a runner on as Espiat comes up.
Yeah, strikeout's a little bit of a problem for Marcewicz. That's his 6th and 14 at-bats.
Rivero still trails off from first, 1 away. Next offering is swung through and missed. Got him on the breaking ball. It seems like they're kind of off balance there with those breaking pitches.
No, definitely coming out here, throwing a lot of off speed.
Next offering is a breaking ball taken upstairs. Make it 1-1 now. And, you know, we have yet to see Rivero really get off that bag a lot and take off for second base. It seems like they're trying to keep him still. I think they're trying to keep that out away. As they throw over again, he almost got caught there.
Wow, yeah, a lot of throws over. I have to imagine that's in the River Rat scouting report, is that the Winter Park Diamond Dawgs like to take off. They are aggressive on the bases. They saw it yesterday, although it didn't really work out in Winter Park's favor, only scoring just 2 runs, but nevertheless, still trying to keep him honest over there first.
Next pitch is taken upstairs for a ball. That's going to make it 1-2 now to Espiat, who, you know, he's pretty in on the plate too. It's not going to shift that strike zone, but crowding the plate's really going to make it easier to get those breaking pitches, as that's taken for a strike. That was a nice curveball there by Wright. Even out the count 2-2 again. Rivero's got a little bit of a bigger lead over there, even with the throws over, as Wright kicks and deals from the stretch and gets the ball in the other batter's box.
Yeah, and I think this pitch will be a good opportunity for him to go full count, 1 out here in the inning.
Absolutely.
Looking to get a runner in scoring position, which I'm sure I'll be talking about all day, just their chances and if they can capitalize on them.
Runner goes. This ball's hit the other way and foul. So they'll re-rack and do it again. And yeah, you're right. I think the main goal for the Dogs today is to just not leave runners stranded, you know. You really want to be able to get these guys, show them that you could score and just build off that foundation, because right now they're going nowhere with them.
Yeah, and I'm not totally sure if we here in the Florida League have runners in scoring position stats, but
Espiat will strike out and a swing and a whiff. That'll bring up Collado.
If the Winter Park team is hitting just 160 collectively, I can't imagine that their runners in scoring position stats are any much better.
Well, we will have to take a look at that surely. Rivero still leads from first base, has not been given an opportunity to take off for second as Collado settles in for his first time against Wright, who fires his first pitch and finds his own for strike 1.
And Collado, the first pitch he saw yesterday, he roped into the right center gap for an RBI triple. Get the Dogs on the board first.
Rivero again trails off, but a little shy this time as this pitch is swung on and whiffed. The fastball really knocked off his timing there again. Makes it 0-2. 2 away, 1 on. Rivero looks a little jumpy at first base now as Wright kicks and deals. Runner takes off, ball's in the dirt. Throw down to second base is going to be close, and it gets into the outfield, but just short. So Rivero will get to second on the stolen base. The overthrow will not bring anything more to come there. Rivero stands aboard second now.
Collado from St. Cloud, Florida, attends Rhode Island. So way up there up north.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys come from all over the place as this pitch is a breaking ball swung out to left center. King's got a beat on it, and it'll be retired by Santana. So it's a scoreless top of the first inning for the Diamond Dawgs, but a productive one at that. They show they can get their bats alive, and I think they're really starting to showcase their power. We're going to step away as the River Rats get set to bat. And so Cameron King will lead things off, who, he's found himself pretty comfortable in this leadoff spot. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he capitalizes off of a new pitcher, making his first start as well over here. That's Baisley.
And yeah, like I said, the Winter Park Diamond Dawgs, honestly, the bright spot of their season so far has been the starting pitching. Seems like they've gotten quality outings out of pretty much everyone. It was Riley Kuhar yesterday who was able to go 5 innings scoreless.
Next off rings a breaking ball taken for a strike, and that'll even out the count 1-1.
And Baisley, his first day here with the Winter Park team from Florida Gulf Coast.
Next offering. Check swing. Did he go? Did not go. That'll make it 2-1. And yeah, you're right. Some of these guys were playing the national tournaments, and they're just now coming down or starting to kind of filter down. Next offering is swung on. Cracked the third. Gloved nicely. Throw to first is going to be in time, and there's one away.
Yeah, so Baisley pitching 14 in the third innings as a freshman at Florida Gulf Coast. Recorded a 4.4 ERA, which I think that's really impressive, honestly. Struck out 16 batters.
And Mannett with the nice grab over there at third base to retire King, who has a lot of speed on the bases too. That was a really good guy to get out there because King could easily stretch a single into a double or triple as Puckett swings and hits one in the left center. That'll find the gap for a base hit. Puckett's going to round first. He's trailing the second base, but he's going to get slapped as he touches first.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting there by Puckett, who had a really nice day at the plate yesterday. I believe it was 3 for 4, but just stays inside on that pitch and kind of takes it out to left field and finds a hole.
So Puckett's the first man aboard, and yeah, you're right. Puckett's been really good at, first pitch swinging and really getting a hold of it. As Dawson Harmon, Dawson Harmon is one of those guys who is one of the best talents in the league right now. Line of the night for the past 2 weeks, it seems like.
Yeah, and yesterday Harmon had the big triple in the 8th inning, the 3-run 8th inning for the Sanford River Rats, and he was kind of kept at bay. We were talking about him pretty much all game because he had a 2-homer night, I believe, the night before. So it was kind of held at bay for first 3 at-bats, but, good hitters are usually inevitable.
Yeah, you're right. Harmon has just been on fire lately as the runner takes off. This throw down the second is going to be close again. He slides in there safe. So Puckett reaches on the stolen base, and now the River Rats have a man in scoring position early. Harmon settling back in.
So a little bit of aggression on the bases for both sides here in the first inning.
Harmon's just so tempoed in the box. You see just how relaxed he is. And I think that really helps him out with his offensive drives as he swings through that one and strikes out.
Yeah, really good pitch there by Baisley.
Yep.
Gets him fishing.
Baisley seems to be working this breaking ball really well. That's what's been getting a lot of these River Rats guys swinging as Khalees settles in for the first time. And a runner on second with 2 away. Khalees is a guy who's just started to kind of creep into the starting lineup, especially at shortstop. We saw Spiker play it short the past couple of games, and this is the first time we've seen Khalees kind of really break into this position as the next offering is taken for a strike. And I will say Baisley looks very composed for the start of this game, even with a runner on second. He doesn't really seem to be phased.
Yeah, we were talking a lot on the broadcast about Khalees. He plays at University of Central Florida, just how he had started off so well and then had kind of cooled off towards the end of the year. But
Khalees, 50 games with UCF, had 15 multiple hit games and a 7 multi-RBI contest, 14-game base streak. That is key there. 14 games where he's reached base, key to scoring. And, of course, a 4-run game in the season opener and one of the UCF captains. Khalees is certainly, again, one of those big talents in this league. Check second, now fires home. It's going to be fouled back again and towards the net. 2 strikes.
Yeah, so definitely seeing Baisley lean on that breaking ball. Looked like another slider that he flipped in there. But it looks like Khalees is on it. Fouled a couple pitches straight back.
2 away, runner on second. Baisley comes set. He's going to come from the windup and the pitch. Breaking ball cracked to center and finds the gap for a base hit. They're going to wave Puckett around. And Puckett's going to try and beat the run home, and it will. The throw home was cut off. And the River Rats will strike first. It's an RBI single for Khalees.
Yeah, just stay right on that one and hit it right where it was pitched, right back up the middle for a nice RBI single and an early lead here for Sanford.
That was a perfect piece of hitting there by Khalees, and routine, you know, that's just goes back to the fundamentals right there. As we await the next offering. Taken first. Strike number 1. This is Lopez, the extra hitter. You know, they bat 10 in this league, something that a lot of people don't really notice. You just think, hey, then this guy hit already. Yeah, he's just the DH. They'll have 2 extra hitters, or designated hitters, as that one's fouled down the line. First base side. Runner on first on a 1-0 ball game now. That's favoring the Rats. They're 2 away. Runner takes off. Lopez looks at the pitch. The throw down the second's going to be close, and it's not in time. So another stolen base for the River Rats, as they have a man in scoring position once again with 2 away here.
Yeah, so that's two stolen bases here in the inning for the River Rats. And maybe they found something in Baisley's delivery, kind of a high leg kick. Maybe gives them a chance to
yeah, it was a check swing, and they tagged him out there. The ball dropped, and that'll end the inning, but not before damage is done. 1-0 River Rats as we trail into the top of the second inning. We're back in just a moment from Sanford. We're back here in the top of the second inning. The Diamond Dawgs trailing off 1-0 your score. The River Rats leading, an early lead for the River Rats, as Brady Wright's already got 2 strikeouts on the night.
The batter's Alex Manent. One of the couple Winter Park players still looking for their first hit on the summer. Only had 5 at-bats, but still, never fun to be playing this game. And you're looking up and your batting average is zeros across the board.
He fouls that one off for strike 2. And yeah, you're right. You know, Manent is a guy who's been kind of struggling lately. You know, he's only hitting in the lower 2s. In fact, this is popped up to first. Yeah, everyone's going to get on it. And Spiker will make the grab. Spiker, an uncharacteristic start at second base. Like I said, he's been starting at shortstop as of late. Now switches over as Khalees comes in. Spiker did a great job at covering for Khalees there. And there's one away. First offering's fouled back for Guzman, who's only hitting 111 through 3 games played and 9 at-bats.
Yeah, another one of the Winter Park players kind of off to a slow start.
Next offering has cracked out to center field. King's got a beat on it and retires Guzman. So on the second pitch, Guzman, flies out to center, but a lot of power and a lot of promise out of him, too. A lot of bat speed.
Yeah, actually a fresh graduate out of Kaiser University, local here to Orlando. So one of the older guys on the team.
So Fosno settles in for his first time now as we get to the bottom of this Winter Park lineup. Brady Wright throws it for ball 1.
Yeah, and Fosno, a little bit of a tough day of the play yesterday. His first 3 at-bats were all strikeouts. I mean, that was the case for a lot of Winter Park players against Ryland Bosenhart, but Bosenhart and Connor Fosno are actually teammates. They both attend Florida Gulf Coast, and yeah, the pitcher just got the best of them.
Fosnow is hitting 300 this season, so actually not too bad for Fosnow. He's really starting to settle into this league, it seems like. In 10 at-bats, he's got 3 hits and 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a walk.
Yeah, the only player on Winter Park with multiple extra base hits. Goes
Brady
down
Wright,
swinging there.
Brady Wright gets him swinging, and he is absolutely on fire right now as he retires Fosnow. 1-0's your score. Sanford due up next. We're not peaking, are we? Gotcha. Right. Okay. Baseball's my main, but I also do basketball and football. I've done soccer before. Basketball, it's a lot. It's because it's constantly moving. You're always talking. I like baseball and even football because it's a little slower. Yeah, I like high school. Yeah. Dawson Mock leads things off for Sanford. Mock, another guy who's had a pretty great season this season, of course. Mock, one of 2 Dawsons on this team, and batting .400 with a 1.467 OPS.
Yeah, and that's with being held hitless yesterday, 0 for 3 in last night's game. So to go 0 for 3 and still be hitting .400, that means you're off to a pretty good start.
Next offering is taken for a strike. Mock, who had a double against Leesburg just a couple games ago, now swings through this pitch and misses for strike 2. And at a 2-strike count, Mock has been really aggressive. He's really chasing on these pitches. Mock is really eager to hit.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts yesterday, so
Baisley fires that one upstairs for ball number 2.
definitely a free swinger.
And I think that's just kind of the culture that they've built for him, at Tallahassee State, which plays in JUCO, of course, but Florida JUCO is one of the best junior college divisions in the nation, most competitive in the nation, as he takes that one outside.
Yeah, and I've talked on a number of the broadcasts I've done just about JUCOs and NAIA, and yeah, there's no lack of talent there. and also really a great stepping stone for these players. You know, you go to a JUCO, you know, maybe your grades aren't the best, or you had a little trouble, you know, getting recruited, but it's a great opportunity to build stats and have the next step to the next level.
He fouls off the 3-2 pitch down the left field or right field line, and will do it again. 3-2 from Baisley as he nods, kicks and deals. Breaking ball outside, and it'll get away from the catcher. And Mock is on with a walk. That's Rosario behind the dish there, who just seems like a bad pitch that kind of got away from him. Way outside, way out of his zone that he can catch. Now Schaefer comes up 364 this year as well. You know, he's had pretty okay start so far. Pretty slow, you know, he hasn't had a lot of hits, but when he's been needed, he's really showing up. First offering is swung through and missed for strike one. Schaefer out of the College of Central Florida. Pretty long drive from here, probably about 3-4 hours really.
Yeah, I wonder if he's staying with a host family or how he's handling that commute. Maybe he's local to here, he's staying with his family.
Yeah, you see a lot of local guys coming to this league. Rarely do you have guys traveling. Of course, we have a player from Villanova on our team, but rarely do you have guys coming from way, way, way out of state. A lot of these guys have grown up at least somewhat close to the area, as he almost took off there and pops it up foul. Calise was a little jumpy over there. He took off. The ball was fouled off. He was caught in between first and second. So he'll reset again. Calise leads from first. Baisley will check him. Now comes set. Runner goes. Throw down is going to be late. And he's in there with the stolen base now. Well, Rosario had to kind of pivot there. Very uncomfortable throw. He had to throw around and over the batter. Not ideal for a catcher, especially with that viewpoint. Have to already throw over the pitcher, nonetheless the batter, and off your non-dominant foot.
And that's 3 stolen bases and really just 1 inning here so far.
Kicks and deals. 2-strike pitch is going to be grounded. Diving stop by the third baseman, who can't get up and make the throw, but able to stop the run before it scores.
Yeah, a good diving stop there by Manette. Just looked like it kicked off his glove, and then he would have no chance to get the runner there.
So Schaefer reaches first. They have runners on the corners now for Saliba. Manette was all over that ball, and if that ball got into the outfield, you know, Calise is going to score with that much speed.
Yeah, but nevertheless, the Sanford River Rats are really threatening here. Guys on first and third and no one out. It's a great opportunity to score, add on to their lead.
First pitch to Saliba, swung on and missed for strike one, and Saliba's a guy who's also very eager to get hits right off the bat. He's swinging at the first pitch. He's swinging at the second pitch. He's not seen a lot of pitches, but it's making up for it, you know, for Saliba, who is batting .200, but a .533 OPS, an on-base percentage of .333. So getting on base and getting where he needs to get, working on that plate discipline. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Next offering to Saliba from Baisley. Runner takes off for second. Throw down the second is going to be another close one. He's standing up. Now they're going to throw it home, the slide. And they got him. It was quick thinking by the second baseman, Marcewicz.
Yeah, it looked like the runner coming home there hesitated just a second. I don't know if he was maybe confused, but looks like he did hesitate for just a second, and that was what allowed Marcewicz to make a throw right on the money and nab him there at the plate.
Head coach Jesse Litch now talking to the home plate umpire. It was a close play at home, of course, but on a play like that, it really is just umpire's discretion.
And Litch had a couple moments yesterday where he was upset with the umpires. I remember there was a batter's interference, or like a batter's interference call on a play at first where it looks like the umpires are going to discuss this one. And then there's another play where he thought on a double play or an attempted double play that the second baseman's foot got dragged off the bag. So
they're going to come together here. It was, like I said, a close play at home between Calise and Rosario. And they're going to, I believe they're going to call him safe there.
Looks like they did call him safe.
So that call will get overturned and a run will score for Sanford. And now here comes the head coach for the Diamond Dawgs to come attest that one.
Yeah, it looked like he conferred with the field umpire, and maybe the field umpire had a better view of it, but I'm not sure because I feel like the home plate umpire has the best view of that play.
Yeah, home plate
being right behind there.
Home plate umpire is right there. Jim Newland now giving him an earful as they come together once more. Newland was also a guy who kind of got in trouble a little bit this past series too.
Yes, that is right.
Newland still.
There was yes. I'm sorry about the previous statement. There was a batter's interference for the Winter Park team a couple of days ago that it was actually Marcewicz stepped out of the box or appeared to step out of the box, and catcher goes to throw out a runner at third. It sails over the third baseman's head, allows for a Winter Park run to score, but they called batter's interference, so he was called out. And Jim Newland was pretty worked up about that one. But, yeah, the Sanford River Rats get on the board there.
Temper seem to settle down now as the next offering is cracked out to center field, and that'll find the gap in right center. They're going to wave him around third. It's going to be a throw home that'll be cut off, and he'll be given the stop sign. They held him there at third base. They were going to run him home.
Yeah, so Sanford making a lot of loud contact here. Even the hit on the infield was hit hard, and that one, just another good piece of hitting. Stays on it, works the ball inside out, and River Rats are threatening again, first and third with nobody out.
So Santana comes up for his first time this game in the bottom of the second inning. A run scores for Sanford with runners on the corners. Once again, still nobody out. First offering is cracked. The third, again, another diving effort there by Manet, who can't get it, and that'll score another run. It is an RBI single for Santana.
And looks like Baisley's outing here is kind of going a little bit sideways, as Sanford already has 2 runs in this inning and still threatening. Guys on first and second and nobody out.
And what started as a promising outing for Baisley is just started to seem to go downward. You know, of course, you see that obviously, but the River Rats bats come alive very, very early in these games. And we see that a lot. We saw it in Leesburg, and now we saw it, of course, last night and now tonight.
Looks like Winter Park is going to send a few folks out there to the bullpen to get warm.
Absolutely right. It looks like Santiago
Yeah.
going out there in the bullpen. Next offering is cracked up the middle, right back to Baisley, but it'll be grounded by the shortstop for 1, over the first for 2, and they get the double play and move the runner to third. So Cameron King will come back in the leadoff spot, this time with 2 away and a runner 90 feet away. We saw King with a lot of speed on that ground out his first time up. Espiat was really great at getting his foot on the bag at second base quickly and making the snap throw to first.
Yeah, and a really good decision there to take it himself as the ball was kind of carrying him that way over towards the base.
King 0 for 1 this time. Faces Baisley, whose first pitch is in the dirt and away. It's going to come off the brick backstop and score another run. So the bases are clear for King. It is 4-0 now, Sanford leading. And that's just what happens with these brick walls. It's one of the only stadiums that have these brick walls on the backstop, and out in the outfield, you know, a ball could hit the wall and bounce right back to second base. We've seen it happen before, and we just saw it there. The ball hit the backstop, bounced all the way back to the catcher. The catcher just had to do a 360 there. King with 2 away.
Yeah, and Winter Park has been kind of alternating catchers, trying to, I guess, find that right guy to man the defensive backstop. It's Rosario today. It was Collado yesterday, and also Landon Towns got some action there behind the plate. But
So still looking for a solid backstop back there. I guess looking for a starting backstop, but King finds himself a 2 away. Next offering from Baisley. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike number 2.
and you know the catcher is kind of one of the most taxing positions on the body, so I have a feeling that also guys need a days off. I know I spoke to Collado about that. He's just, after a game of catching, he's just like, yeah, I need a day off.
Cracked foul, and they'll do it again. Foul that one towards the right field line and out towards the clubhouse and parking lot. And he'll reset and come again as Baisley now rocking on the mound. It seems like Baisley's really fired up here. You know, he's got this kind of anger behind his pitches as that ball gets away. And we'll run the count full as it heads back towards the backstop. And again, we'll reset. King looking for his first hit of the game. Hitting .250 on the year and a .713 OPS and 21 plate appearances. And looking to expand on that in plate appearance 23. Swung on and cracked out to right field. First baseman's got a beat on it. Guzman towards the fence and out of play. Onto the concourse.
Yeah, so good job staying alive here.
King set up with the full count again. 2 away here. Baisley from the windup. King cracks one out to left center. This ball's deep and going to find the glove there of the center fielder, Rivero, on the run to retire the River Rats, but now 4-0. They let off 2 runs that inning, 3 runs that inning, excuse me. And another tough outing for Winter Park as they go to the bullpen. We're back in just a moment from Sanford. Nothing your score from Sanford as the Dogs try to come back. And they'll start number 39 here for Winter Park. You know, he's, again, one of these bats who's just a little quiet recently.
Yeah, first at bat here for the Winter Park team. I think he arrived today as well. Out of Mountain Brook, Alabama. Attends Jacksonville State, 6-foot sophomore.
Yeah, just a lot of new guys here for this Winter Park lineup. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. A lot of guys coming back to play either their first year in this league or maybe they're returning to this Winter Park squad, but just coming from these national tournaments or even these college seasons that are ending early, or maybe they're coming from, you know, somewhere else or another, you know, you never really know. Next offering is taken outside for a ball.
So didn't see as much time during the 2025 season, but Young was a member of Conference USA's all-newcomer team in 2024. Because he had 9 extra base hits and 112 at-bats.
Pitch is taken outside for a ball.
I think he's really one of these scrappy players. I got a chance to watch him take VP earlier today. Looks like he's looking to hit the ball the other way.
And that's what he almost did there as he fouls it back and out towards the parking lot again. So makes the count 2-2 now for Young. Starting out in right field. Jacksonville State, like you said, from Mountain Brook, Alabama. Next pitch is taken for ball 4. So Young's aboard and starts things off with a walk for Winter Park as Rosario comes up.
Yeah, Rosario still looking for his first hit. Got another one of those Winter Park players looking to get on the score sheet. 9 at-bats hit with.
3 games played, no batting average set for Rosario yet, has yet to really get any hits here.
Yeah, was in the lineup yesterday, went 0 for 3. He had a tough day at the plate as well. I believe it was 3 strikeouts.
First pitch finds his own for strike 1.
As the strikeout bug really did hurt Winter Park yesterday. They struck out collectively as a team 16 times, which if you're given, it swings to that one. If you're giving the other team, I don't want to say 16 free outs, but 16 of the 27 outs that you're not allowing the defense to make a play, that's really going to hurt you.
So with the 0-2 now to Rosario, with Young leading from first base, pretty shy over there as he kicks and deals. That ball's in the other batter's box and will be ball 1. A 1-2 count. Again, the runner on first, nobody out for Winter Park, and he swings through that one. And Wright's got another K.
Yeah, it looked like that slider there really, or slider on all 3 pitches, really kept Rosario off balance. That pitch was way in the other batter's box.
Brady Wright's got 4 strikeouts tonight and 1 away. That brings up Glotting. 250 this year. One of the hotter batters on this Winter Park lineup. He checks swings, and it's in there for a strike anyway.
Yeah, but limited at bats for Glotting. He's been kept out of the lineup for the last couple of days. He's a 2-way player, so he does pitch as well. I think that also factors into that. Swings over that one. Maybe quickly down here.
2-way player in college, certainly impressive. Guy who could hit and who could toss. He's looking at an 0-1 as the runner takes off a little slow down there, though. Saliba's throw down the second. Spiker tags, and they got him. His leg got off the bag. And there's 2 away, an excellent defensive play by Saliba.
Yeah, it looks like he slid a little prematurely there, and the spike got caught in the dirt, allowing him to pop up, but he wasn't on the base, so.
And that happens. You know, you slide in second, you kind of jump up, and even for a second, your foot's off the bag. That guy's got his glove on you. With that, there's now 2 away. Bases are clear for Glotting. Next offerings, kicked, fired, and upstairs for a ball. Next offering already, it's taken outside for a ball. Now he calls time. Glotting will step out of the box in the 1-2. Winter Park still struggling early in this game as the next offering's a breaking ball that swung on and missed to end the inning. Brady Wright. Pitching dominance, 5 strikeouts. In the game, we lead to the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're back from Sanford, 4-0 your score. Puckett leads things off here as we welcome you back to Sanford Memorial Stadium and to the bottom of the third inning. Puckett singled his last time up after King flew out. Makes this game 4-0. Baisley still on the mound as he kicks and deals his first pitch. Take it for ball one.
It's going to be actually Santiago is on the mound now for Winter Park. So Santiago did see some action the other night, and
this is cracked up to center field and in for a base hit.
So Santiago came in the other night, and a very promising game for the Winter Park Diamond Dawgs. Feels like that's been the MO for their season thus far. It's a lot of promising games, but Santiago came in tonight to close the game out, and on the first pitch he threw, he recorded an out. But then the resulting at-bats were 3 straight walks, and the Winter Park Diamond Dawgs were wound up to get walked off on that night. So a second chance here for Santiago. Just pitched a third of an inning in his first outing. Does throw hard, but doesn't really have a feel for that command, seems like.
Santiago's breaking ball, it broke there, and he almost got a piece of it. That was a good pitch to swing at for Harmon, who is, like I said, just been on fire as of lately. A couple triples, couple doubles, was on fire last night with a couple home runs. And
yeah, and Harmon, a guy who, if he makes contact, it's likely going to be hit very hard.
Harmon's
Swings very
first
hard.
pitch on the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike number 2. You don't see Harmon swinging a lot of pitches that are up in the zone like he just did. I think he's really looking for a hit, especially with this pillow, 4 runs and a runner on first.
Yeah, the approach definitely changes when you have a 4-run lead.
Throw over at first is not going to get him.
Especially since you're already in the bullpen. So Winter Park really up against it here. But, yeah, your approach can definitely change because you're not looking to play hero. You're just looking to move station to station and
crack the other way and foul. And it seems like Winter Park just needs to take this game inning by inning. They seem to be looking full picture right now, looking, all right, we need to get runs, we need to do this, we need to do that. I think they just need to focus on throwing strikes and really making sure that they're keeping these River Rats batters at bay.
And it's got to be tough when you look up at the scoreboard and you're already down 4 and you haven't scored 4 runs since the opening game. So
throw to first caught Puckett in the sense of ball got away, but the tag slapped Puckett on the back, and he seems to be okay, but a scary moment there. Like you said, Santiago's only got 1 game played on the mound, and of course ended in loss, but his first real outing here is this is cracked the other way into right field. It's going to head towards the corner and wrapping foul. Stays alive with 2 strikes. Harmon is eager to hit, I think, and with a runner on first, looking to move the runner into scoring position to set up Khalees, who, had an RBI single his last time up. 4-0 ball game. The Rats, no wind at all. It started off pretty windy here, and that was affecting a lot of guys' hits, and now it seems to have calmed down. That one's upstairs for a ball.
yeah, we saw a lot of rain earlier in the day, but luckily here it looks like it's cleared up.
Groundskeepers did an excellent job of making sure that this field was actually dry so we could play baseball today, and the rain thankfully stayed away so we could play under the lights at beautiful Sanford Memorial Stadium. Next offering. Breaking ball swinging, and Harmon goes down. So Harmon is now 0 for 2 tonight. Very uncharacteristic from him.
Yeah, and saw the same thing last night, but he did end up coming up big in the later innings.
Khalees again with the 1 RBI single in the first inning. That broke this game open for the River Rats, and now he comes set again with a runner on first. Runner takes off to throw down the second. Heads back into center field, and they're going to wave him the third. The throw from the center fielder gets dropped, and he slides in the third. And another error by the second baseman and the center fielder.
Yeah, it looked like the center fielder kind of went to pick that up. Maybe it was a little wet, but had trouble with the grasp, and it looks like It looked like he might have had him dead to rights there if he comes up with that one cleanly.
That was a really close play. Yeah, Marcewicz, of course, dropped it at second, and Rivera was right there to back it up, who, of course, dropped it. Like you said, maybe the ball got a little wet, but Rivera was right there. We could have easily thrown him out at third base. So a risky move to send him, but with the drop ball, you kind of hard to not want to get a little close there. Next offering is taken outside for a ball.
And yeah, third consecutive inning here where the Rats are seriously threatening. Guy in third and one out. And
got a man 90 feet away for Calise. Looking to add another RBI to his line tonight. He takes that one for a strike.
It's pretty cliche and feels obvious, but you know, you can definitely look at how well you perform with when you have guys in scoring position as a main deciding factor in the games. You know, I feel like teams never have a lack of ability to get guys in position. It's just what do you do in those at bats when there are guys on second and third.
That pitch is cracked foul, and will make it 2 strikes to Calise. With 1 away in the bottom of the third, 4-0 ball game. As the sun really starts to set here in Sanford, the temperatures are starting to drop, thankfully, on what is another hot Central Florida day. This pitch is cracked the other way again and foul, right where he hit the last one. Keeps the count with 2 strikes. And Calise in the exact same situation that he found himself in when he scored an RBI, you know, up to bat with 1 out and a runner on third after the stolen base. Santiago comes set and kicks and deals to Calise, who swings and has a little blooper towards the mound. It's going to be a tight play as the runner scores. Throw to first is not going to happen. And it's another RBI single. Calise beats out the infield throw. And makes it a 5-0 ball game.
Got the word. I think you hit that one a whopping 12 feet. So
yeah,
good piece of hitting there.
It was a little blooper there back towards the mound, and that's one of those tough plays we talked about in the Leesburg series. You know, there's little pockets on the field that are really hard to get to when certain balls are hit there. You know, of course, you have the regular gaps between second and first, or between short and third, or in the outfield. But there's these little pockets where if hit just perfectly on the right amount of speed, you could really beat it out wherever.
And that was one of those as well. Just like you said, a great pocket. And the pocket where the catcher is going to retreat for it, but the pitcher and the third baseman are also coming in, and they all kind of get there right at the same time. And then it's like, okay, whose ball is it, and where are we going with this?
That's a play that also pulled the first baseman off the bag. Not too sure what the strategy was off that, but you saw Guzman run off the bag there, which aided in the infield single. 0-2 count, throw down to first. And gets up slowly. And he gets in there safe. 0-2 to Lopez from Santiago. Lopez wanted to go there. That was kind of a last-minute stop as he saw his hips kind of sway in there and taken for a ball.
Yeah, and Santiago really working here in this one. You can imagine his pitch count's already creeping up, and he just only has 1 out.
Santiago to pitch to Lopez is swung on and way out of here, but foul.
Yeah, that's over there in the right field playground area.
Yeah, there's a school out beyond the right field wall that has a playground out there. That looked like it maybe landed on the slide. Stays alive, 2-1 for Lopez. Runner on first, who slides off. This is cracked out to center and will find the gap for a base hit. They're going to wave him around second. He's heading to third. They're going to wave him to second now. And he's caught a little bit of a rundown. The throw to first. He puts the tag on him, slides in there, and he's safe.
Yeah, so weird play there. Again, the center fielder Rivera looked like he had kind of hiccuped picking up the ball. Looked like that was out of his glove. And it's like Lopez was trying to round and take the extra bag, but Guzman was caught a little off first base there. So when the shortstop tried to throw it back to him, the runner was able to avoid that tag and get in safely.
Lopez was looking to, like you said, steal that extra back. He saw the throw go to third base, and I think he was like, hey, why don't I just go ahead and take second while I'm at it, get the runners on the left side of the field there, but it did not work out for him. It looks like he got caught pretty quickly there. 1 away and 2 on the corners. This pitch is fouled back and out of play.
This guy doesn't get cheated, does he?
Dawson Mock, who walked his last time up on a 3-2 count, now finds himself 0-1.
Yeah, Mock of South Florida, University of South Florida product, I should say, a USF Bull.
Mock
So,
with the 0-1.
a lot of talent on this Sanford team.
Runner goes on the breaking ball and will not throw as he slides in there safe, and now they have runners on the left side, what he wanted to do, of course, on that hit. 2 runners in scoring position for the River Rats.
Yeah, and the River Rats running very freely here today. I believe that's 5 steals, and we're not even through 3 innings.
Checks his runner, now Beals.
So taking the extra base, something that we've seen a lot in this 2-game set so far.
Well, River Rats are a team that can grab extra bases very easily. They already reach base very easily, but they could also stretch these hits into double, singles, triples. Even sometimes they'll score off of a single that they just hit an inning ago, or excuse me, not that ago. That pitch is taken for a ball. Mock really working the count here. A 5-0 ball game that the Rats seem to start to run away with. Next pitch is cracked the other way and down the line, but trailing foul towards the bullpens.
That's what you do with 2 strikes. So 2 guard the play like that.
And the Diamond Dawgs bullpen out there to make that grab. 2 strikes, hit an outside pitch there that kind of jammed him up on the barrel. Still a 1-2. Next pitch to Mock is swung on and fouled back again. Popped up and out of play.
Yeah, so Santiago, again, having a bit of a tough outing, but his pitch count is really getting worked here. It seems like a lot of deep counts for every single River Rat hitter.
Now taking his time again. Still waiting. He really took his time getting that sign that time around. Now comes at the pitch. Is taken again upstairs and makes the count full now for Mock.
You have to think the Winter Park team is gonna accelerate that bullpen.
Nobody working quite yet out there. Three-two delivery from Santiago is taken outside for a ball, and that'll load him up with 1 away for Schaefer.
Number 16, Bruno Schaefer.
Yeah, so Santiago, undecided on where he'll play baseball next, is currently in the portal. Just trying to put on some good tape for any college, but through 2 games here in the Florida League, his ERA is not going to be very pretty.
Hit out into left center. Sorry there, TJ. That's going to score 1 run. They're going to wave him around the third, and 2 runs will score as he slides in, and the ball got away from him. Runners on the corners for the River Rats, and a 7-0 ball game. Schaefer rips one in the left center.
Yeah, so first pitch he sees, wastes no time, and hits it in a perfect spot, gets right over the shortstop, Espiat's head. But yeah, tough outing here for Santiago.
Yeah, Santiago really starting to struggle as it looks like another pitcher will head out to the bullpen there for the Diamond Dawgs. Sikowski, the left-hander, will go to get stretched and start tossing out there as the breaking ball's upstairs for ball 1. But didn't get on his first time up. Up for the second time after a 2 RBI single by Schaefer. Sliding grab there by the catcher for ball number 2. Santiago's really struggling with connecting on these pitches, really getting a grasp on his command here. And he's kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't do himself any favors. He gets behind in the count a little too much.
30 pitches. Next offering is taken upstairs.
This was his 30th pitch of the inning, so yeah.
30 pitches on the 3-0 count. Santiago already way up in the pitch count for how long he's been in this game. He's only been in the game an inning, 2 innings at most.
No, yeah, he came in this inning and has only recorded 1 out, so 30 pitches and through just a third of an inning.
And that'll be a 4-pitch walk to load him up again for Santana. River Rats have a big scoring opportunity and a chance to break this game wide open.
Yeah, Coach Newland's going to come out. Wonder if it's going to be a moment to calm him down or if he's going to go straight to the pen.
Well, it looks like he's still warming up out there, so I don't think we'll see him quite yet, but definitely a warning sign here. You know, you don't want to see your coach coming out when you're struggling, especially when you're only been pitching for 1 inning. They meet here and we await his message. We'll update you on some scores throughout the league. Of course, we're 7-0 here. DeLand Suns and Snappers just started, and 1-1 your score in the bottom of the second. Your Lightning and Squeeze are all tied up. And a great day for baseball all across the league on a very nice Tuesday night. Santana ready to get a piece. He's been fired up. I talked to him early in the game, or before the game, I should say, and he was just one of those players who's always in a good mood, no matter if we're losing, if we could be, 0 for 5 this season, and Santana would still have a smile on his face.
That's real funny. But, yeah, those ball players are the best, the ones that are always in high spirits. Every day they come to the park, it's a good day, And one of the Winter Park coaches, pitching coach Brandon Burgess, wears a shirt. It says "Baseball is fun" on it. So I have to try and adopt that motto, every day when you come to the park, because every day is a different day, and it's a new chance, a new opportunity to prove yourself or make a big impact.
Sort of the glue on this team, one of those glue guys, as they say in the sports world. He settles in with the bases loaded and 1 away. The breaking ball's taken outside for Santana. A 7-0 game. Next offering is going to be taken for a strike, and that was a good pitch to take for Santana, to really set the tone. These River Rats batters have not been seeing a lot of pitches. And so for him to kind of watch that one go by, really get this timing off Santiago, especially because he's not going to be in this game for much longer.
Yeah, the River Rats, if I can see correctly, already have 9 hits.
Santiago grounded the first. Guzman throws home and stops the run from scoring, but the bases stay loaded with 2 away.
They're going to call him safe.
Fielder's choice, RBI.
They do call him safe there. And a little bit of confusion there from the catcher. Rosario is in disbelief there.
Looks like they're going to check with the field umpire.
Yeah, it's an 8-0 ball game as of now. The bases are loaded and still 1 away as we await to see what the decision comes to be. Looked like Rosario didn't have his foot on the plate. That's what they're going to come and contest here. Rosario, it's really hard to see with that plate covered in clay. So they're going to call the runner at home out. So the run did not score. The bases are loaded with 2 away now for Spiker.
Yeah, so it'll still be 7-0. The bases will remain loaded.
Fielder's choice for Santana and brings up Spiker. 2 away, bases loaded to Spiker, who swings and fouls one back for strike 1. Santiago really working well into this pitch count now, already close to 40 pitches.
Yeah, it has to be 40 pitches. we just got the nugget that it was 30 pitches, and that was seemingly 10 pitches ago.
So 2 away, and the bases loaded. Santiago pitched to Spiker. His breaking ball swung on and missed. Spiker really wanted a piece of that one.
Have they batted around?
They have batted almost all the way around. Spiker is the bottom of the lineup, and then we'll go to King.
Yeah, just doing my quick math, 3 runners on, 3 have scored, 2 outs. I believe that totals 8, so.
Takes his time now with the next offering. Spiker is taken upstairs for a ball, makes it 2-1, or 1-2, I should say. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Spiker down in the count. Santiago looking to get out of this inning, and a dangerous inning at that. Next pitch to Spiker is popped up. Guzman has a run on it, out of play, and off the top of the clubhouse. Guzman, a lot of range for a first baseman. We've seen him trail backwards out to right field. We've seen him go almost to the outfield corner, like 330 down to the corner.
Yeah, has a couple of really good defensive plays on the year. But is one of those guys that seemingly will be alternating between games, so on 1, off 1.
2 away, bases loaded. The pitch to Spiker is down low again. Evens out the count 2-2. Santiago is still sticking to his rhythm, which is nice to see. A lot of pitchers, when they're shaken up like that or in sticky situations like this, they tend to get a little shifty on the mound, but he seems very composed. 2 outs, and the next offering is fouled back again.
Totally agree. You start to see their body language start to change up a little bit, and not in a positive way. But he seemingly is staying composed.
So again, he'll try it. 2-2 count, 2 away, bases loaded. 7-0 your score as the Rats lead. Santiago delivers to Spiker, who takes the ball outside and runs the count full. And this is what I call a wiffle ball moment. Bases loaded, 2 away. This is the moment that every kid kind of imagines himself in his backyard, and now Spiker finds himself in it against Santiago. And if you're Santiago, you don't want to give him anything close. You're going to want him to chase here. Santiago comes set. The 3-2 payoff. Punches him out. It was a late call by the home plate umpire, and Santiago escapes a juicy inning for the River Rats. It is 7-0 your score. We lead with the top of the Diamond Dawgs lineup when we get back. So Rivero will lead things off for the Diamond Dawgs and attempts to chip away at this lead somewhat before it completely gets out of hand. Rivero walked his last time up and he takes his first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Rivero was 1 for 3 yesterday. Has been one of the more productive hitters for this Diamond Dawgs team.
Rivero is, like you said, hitting pretty okay. 286 in 4 games and 14 at-bats. He scored 3 runs and has 4 hits this season as he takes a strike.
He did another run or another
2-strike count. Rivero is still at ease in the box, you know, not a stressful situation. There's nobody on, but wanting to get on base as he cracks that one foul back towards the Diamond Dawgs dugout, and he'll do it again. It would seem to be a packed house for Sanford as well. You know, we thought the rain was going to scare a lot of fans away. That's grounded to third off the head of the third baseman Puckett there, and that is a hard play to watch. Took a nasty hop and right off his head.
That looked like it hit off right off the top of the head. Give him a second.
You rarely see that in baseball. You rarely see that play anywhere, just a really bad hop as the trainer and Coach Jesse will go out to check on him.
Jesse was a third baseman in his day, so he knows about that.
Jesse, you know him as the former pitcher for the Blue Jays, but he was actually a third baseman back in his youth, so he knows a lot about these kind of hard-hit ground balls that take a weird hop there.
It is the hot corner for a reason, and that ball was hit very well.
They're still taking a look at him. You don't want to, put someone out there with a concussion, obviously. You don't want to put someone out there who's in danger. And that, it knocked his hat off his head. Very hard-hit ball there. Puckett's still looking around. The umpire's going to come and check in on him now. And the head coach, Jim Newland, for the Diamond Dawgs also out there. Puckett seems to be okay, and he's going to stay in this game. The trainers are going to walk off. And
wow, tough kid.
Coach Jesse will walk back towards the dugout. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is a hard hit. That's something that's going to take the wind out of you for sure.
Yeah, and it didn't look like he really misplayed it or anything. It just right off the lip of that grass kind of took an elevated hop, and just his glove was not there, ready for it.
Yeah, not really something you practice either. You practice these bad hops in practice, but you never practice something that drastic. That shot right up in the air and landed on his head in a, lack of better terms, a cartoonish way almost.
It will be the Winter Park's first hit on the day.
It was ruled a hit. You're absolutely right. It was not ruled an error. They have a man aboard. Rivero on first. Marcewicz takes another strike. Marcewicz struck out his last time up. One of Wright's first victims. Actually was Wright's first victim this game. So next offering is swung through and missed.
Yeah, like I was saying to Marcewitz's first at bat, the strikeouts are a bit of an issue for him.
So Marcewicz goes down swinging and brings up Espiat, who also struck out his last time up.
Yeah, and that's been the theme of this Winter Park team the last couple of games, is a lot of strikeouts.
6 Ks for Wright as he throws over the first. And won't get him, just trying to keep the runner honest. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to steal bases. They haven't really been on base that much. But you definitely want to make sure they know, hey, I'm not messing around here. I will throw at you, and even if I don't get you, Saliba will. Pitch finds his own for strike number 1 to Espiat. So the wind starts to blow out to left field. Right field and left field. Next offering is a breaking ball that's swung on and missed for strike 2.
Yeah, so another Winter Park at bat that the batter is quickly down in the count. And you're really up against it most of the times when you go down 0-2.
Throw to first almost got him. He was off the bag. And
you allow for the pitcher to work on his timing, throw his pitch.
On the 0-2 count, Brady Wright working a gem. From the stretch, kicks and deals. just missed the zone there as it finds upstairs for ball number 1.
It looked like a little high there. Just missed the top half of the zone.
And that's where Brady's been missing, just this top half of the zone as he comes set. The 1-2 from right as the runner takes off. It's swung on and missed and punches him out and it's fouled. Didn't really hear it off the top of the bat there. Kind of confused everybody there. It was very weak contact by Espiat. And they'll reset again with the 1-2. Runner trails from first. Right again comes set from the stretch. Kicks and deals. Ball bounces in front of the plate and he'll score to second safely. So it's a stolen base.
Yeah, so 2 stolen bases here for Rivero, who already has 5 on the season. Clearly the go-to guy for Coach Newland.
And like we talked about at the top of the show, this is a team that when they get on bases very fast, they have a lot of speed. And that's really underestimated for the Diamond Dogs. They're really capable of stretching these hits as rare as they are, and making them into scoring position as right misses up high for ball 1.
But this has been their issue, is guys in scoring position. They've had no trouble getting them there. But like we were talking about, the lack of offense.
3-2 is cracked in the center. King has a beat on it, backpedaling and makes the grab for 1 away. And you're right, TJ. Look, they're making really solid contact. Just can't seem to get anything in the gap or get anything past this defense.
EH, number 6, Colado.
Now Clado with a runner on second and 2 away.
Collado flied out to left field in his first at-bat. Hit the ball well, but left fielder was able to range to his left and make the play.
Next offering from right is off the face of the umpire there and seems to be okay. That's one of the
Today or either the